You are a recipient of Yah's power of restoration. Not only will He restore you, but He will also restore your purpose. Hi, this is Barry Phillips of 10-Minute Torah, day 1 of Vayakal, and we are in Exodus or Shemot chapter 35. Today we read verse 1. And Moshe assembled all of the congregation of the children of Israel and said to them, These are the words which Yahweh has commanded you to do. Normally we read that and say, okay, that's just the opening remarks. Let's get on to what he's actually saying. But there's some information in the words here that we want to take a little look at. Yah has just revealed himself in chapter 34 through what is called the 13 attributes of mercy, as one who's not only offering a renewed covenant, but he is also revealing himself as the one who will forgive sins. It's interesting that Moshe originally took 2 tablets of stone up and or received 2 tablets of stone from Yah with the original words of the Torah, the 10 words, came down, broke those, went back up on to the mount with 2 more tablets of stone, 2 additional ones. The same words are applied. The covenant terminology has not changed from one covenant to the other. It's just that now this renewed covenant, no, it didn't start in Matthew. It starts right here in the book of Exodus or Shemot. The renewed covenant, it's the same words as the original covenant. Yah doesn't change. His word doesn't change. What is added here is the revelation that Yah will forgive those who have broken his original covenant. When we come here to chapter 35, then in verse 1, we read a couple of words that are important to us. The original phrase of Hebrew here is Vayakal Moshe et kol adat b'nei Israel. And out of that Hebrew, there are 2 words that we want to look at. First of all, it says, and Moshe assembled. That is from the word kahal. Kahal is what we would translate as an assembly. More expanded version of that, an assembly of called out ones, or we could just say the called out assembly of Yahweh. Certainly Israel has been called out of Mitzrayim, but even further here, Yah has called them out from their days of idolatry. They're called out. We talk about people who have a gifting from Yah as having a calling. That's our English terminology. Are you called to preach? Are you called to lead worship? Are you called to administrate? This calling is an awareness, a pulling, a weight, a heaviness, a bearing of a sense of burden. A lot of different terminologies here, where you're just keenly aware that there is something pulling at me. Something that you can't just lay off. It's not like you can, flip a switch and just stop. It's there, and it becomes a very integral part of who you are. It becomes part of your identity. Israel needed this calling out. They needed to know that we're not just former slaves that have been brought out here and maybe we'll make it, maybe we won't. They needed to know that they were and are the covenant people of the Most High, and that his plans for them do not fail. The only question is, will they believe him enough to actually personally be a part of it? The second word that is important to us is the word adat. Adat here is translated as congregation. What's interesting is that it is coming to us from a word ad. We would transliterate that as ad, an ad. That is a word that means witness. So the gathering of the adat is an assembling or gathering of witnesses. Ad is contracted from the word ud. if you want to, again, transliterate UWD, which is to return, to repeat, to do again, to bear witness, to say again and again. It is to have a sense of not only a witness, but a sense of consistency of witness. Saying the right thing over and over again, not changing your doctrine, not changing your truth, not merging with current trends and philosophies of this world, but rather that you are consistent, that you are convinced. When you know something is true, then you're not going to be changing your story just because, well, it sounds better, it's more trendy, it's more fashionable. It's the way people do now. Truth is truth is truth. And I saw an interesting headline even this morning at the time of this recording, that the scriptures, the Bible, is becoming a hot ticket item again in the UK among the Z generation. Get that right. That whereas they were buying, horror flicks or fantasy novels or whatever, they're going back to the Bible. I find it very interesting that when you get down to where it hurts, where life is a struggle, and your choices are exceptionally important, you can't go by your feelings. In the movies, you're going to hear the line, well, you just have to follow your heart. Well, your heart is deceptive. Our heart, our feeling, our emotions, even our fleeting thoughts, they will deceive us, and you can't live by those. You have to know what the truth is, what the real and solid foundation is consisting of. So we have then this truth of the renewed, restored, reinvigorated, re-given covenant, the original covenant offered again. It is a renewing of it, not because the covenant was faulty. Hebrews chapter 8 says that the fault was not with the covenant, it was the people. So Yah is taking an imperfect people who now have a witness that they are the recipients of Yah's forgiveness and the renewing of his covenant. And Yah is not letting up on his purpose. His purpose for them continues, and that is, I want my house, my dwelling place, built in the midst of you, because I want to dwell in the midst of you. Yah doesn't change. But Yah, I failed. I messed up. I really, really messed up this time. Yah's purposes for you have not changed. That doesn't mean that restoration is instantaneous, that it's a prayer that lasts 30 seconds away from everything being put back in its right place. It may take a process of learning accountability, of learning again integrity, learning again patience, learning again to study and to hear his voice, learning again how to pray correctly. It's not just, hey, I'm sorry, amen, let's go again. Yah is going to refine this people by their labor. Okay, I'm going to give you the instructions, and this is what I want you to do. This is how you're to do it. Here is your test of obedience. Are you going to try to ad-lib on the blueprints? Are you going to try to do it your way? Are you going to try to improve upon my plans? Or are you simply going to hear my word and do it as I desire and construct my dwelling place, that I may dwell among you as I have set in order? So restoration is not about making us feel better about ourselves. Restoration is getting reacquainted with the Most High in such fashion and manner that our purpose is restored, that our vision is cleared, that our road is determined, that our destiny is defined, and that we start making the right choices. And I hope you choose to see me again here tomorrow. Until then, shalom.